Across the stars, through your speakers. It's the podcast that's more mind-bending than a black hole's event horizon. It's the Intergalactic Insider, where we bring you news faster than a quantum-entangled gossip network. Greetings, sentients of all dimensions and realities. Whether you're experiencing the scorching heat of a binary star system, the eternal twilight of a tidally locked planet, or the cozy darkness of a space whale's belly, I'm your host, Felix Andromeda, broadcasting from the Galactic News Network studios on Earth 4.0. And boy, do we have a show for you today that's more packed than a neutron star. Before we dive in, a quick word from our sponsors at Quantum Coffee. Start your day with a superposition of flavors. Now, with 50% more probability of tasting great. Remember, folks, Quantum Coffee is not responsible for any taste bud entanglement or caffeine-induced time loops. Drink responsibly. Now, for those of you who missed our last episode, you might want to fire up your time machines and give it a listen. We had a fascinating interview with Narla Bazolter, a Zenzian archaeologist who's been digging up more dirt than a Venusian dust devil on the ancient ruins of Xyloth 3. Plus, our Human Corner segment, where Narla turned the tables and asked about humanity's strangest quirks. Trust me, it was more revealing than a naked singularity. But enough about the past. Or is it the future? Time is so relative these days. Let's talk about what's coming up on today's show. Hold on to your gravity boots, because we're about to take a wild ride through the cosmos. First up, we'll be exploring the bizarre discovery of alien microbes in the human gut. Could these little critters be the key to immortality? Or just really lost tourists? Then we'll dive into the chaos caused by the intergalactic trade union strike that's left our wormhole network more tangled than a Rigelian spaghetti monster. After that, we'll be tackling a scandal that sent shockwaves through space-time itself. The Galactic Olympics have been rocked by allegations of quantum entanglement doping. Are our athletic heroes bending more than just space? And finally, we'll stretch our imaginations, and possibly our bodies, with a look at the new craze of alien yoga. Of course, we'll wrap up with our fan-favorite weather report. I hear Zephyr's got himself stuck in a meteor shower. Again. Oh, Zephyr, will you ever learn? Now, dear listeners, a brief disclaimer. Side effects of tuning into the Intergalactic Insider may include uncontrollable laughter, sudden cravings for exotic alien cuisines, and the inexplicable urge to adopt a pet quasar. We are not responsible for any temporal paradoxes, spontaneous evolution into beings of pure energy, or sudden understanding of the universe's mysteries. And now, it's time for our cosmic conundrum of the fortnight. Sentients of all cognitive types get those synapses, neural networks, or quantum thought matrices firing. This fortnight's mindbender comes from a perplexed Andromedan philosopher. If a teleporter malfunctions and creates two identical copies of you, which one is the real you? And which one owes the teleporter company a fee for the extra passenger? Cast your votes now using your preferred method of faster-than-light communication. Remember, time travelers, no peeking at future episodes for the answer. And for our psychic listeners, please refrain from broadcasting the solution to others. Let's keep the mystery alive. We'll reveal the most creative answers in a future episode. Last fortnight's winner, a hive mind from the Betelgeuse system, suggested that if you eat spicy food on a faster-than-light ship, you'd technically experience heartburn before the meal. Now that's some food for thought. Stay tuned, cosmic thinkers. We'll be right back after this short message from our sponsors.
Attention all sentient beings. Are you tired of those pesky human abductions ruining your weekend plans? Introducing Abduct Away, the galaxy's first anti-abduction spray. Simply mist yourself with our patented formula and watch as those pesky humans slide right off your tentacles, scales, or gelatinous membranes. But that's not all. Abduckaway also repels curious Martian tourists, overzealous intergalactic paparazzi, and even your mother-in-law's surprise visits. Call now and we'll double your order, perfect for family vacations to Earth or those long commutes through the Milky Way. Warning, may cause uncontrollable shimmering, spontaneous levitation, and an irresistible urge to yodel in Klingon. Not suitable for silicon-based life forms or beings from the fifth dimension.
Welcome back, Cosmic Cognoscenti. It's time for our first segment, and boy, do we have a gut-wrenching topic for you today. We're diving deep into the microscopic world of newly discovered alien microbes found in the human digestive system. Could these tiny interlopers be the key to immortality, or are they just freeloading space squatters? To help us digest this fascinating subject, we're joined by two distinguished guests. Dr. Blorp Squiggles, the leading xenomicrobiologist from the Andromeda Institute of Extraterrestrial Biology, and Professor Intestina Colon, a human nutritionist specializing in interspecies symbiotic relationships. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you, Felix. It's an honor to be here.
Delighted to join you, Felix. I hope I don't bore you with too much potty talk.
Professor, with you around, I'm sure this conversation won't stagnate. Now, Dr. Squiggles, let's start with you. What's new about these microbes you've discovered in the human gut?
Well, Felix, while we're all used to sharing our personal space with various alien life forms these days, these microbes are particularly intriguing. They possess a unique ability to manipulate their own genetic structure in response to environmental stimuli at an unprecedented rate.
Fascinating. So these little aliens are basically the shapeshifters of the gut world. Professor Cologne, what implications could this have for human health?
Oh, Felix, you could say these microbes have really evolved our understanding of gut health. They seem to enhance our digestive system's adaptability by rapidly producing enzymes tailored to whatever we eat. We're seeing early signs of increased nutrient absorption and, surprisingly, an ability to digest foods that were previously inedible to humans.
Oh, pardon me, listeners, but we've just received a breaking news update. It seems a group of Zorblaxian protesters has gathered outside the Galactic Health Organization, demanding these microbes be classified as a new sentient species and given voting rights in the next Galactic Council elections. Dr. Squiggles, your thoughts?
Oh, not this again. Felix, we go through this every time we discover a new microbe. Remember the great tardigrade debate of 3186? These microbes, while remarkable, have shown no signs of higher consciousness or ability to choose a political party.
Fair point. Now let's hear from one of our listeners. We have a telepathic message from Xylophone 9 in the Sombrero Galaxy. Xylophone asks, could these microbes be the result of a drunken bet between two bored cosmic entities?
Well, Xylophone, that would certainly explain a lot about the universe, wouldn't it? But in all seriousness, while we can't rule out divine pranks, the microbes seem to have evolved naturally.
Interesting. Time for a quick history lesson. Professor Cosmos, can you give us some context on human-alien gut interactions?
Certainly, Felix. This isn't the first time humans and alien life forms have shared a digestive tract. Remember the Gastrogalactic Games of 2876? Humans and Blabonians competed to see who could host the most diverse gut microbiome. The winning human had over 10,000 species from 50 different planets in her intestines.
Thanks, Professor. I still can't look at a probiotic yogurt the same way. Now, back to our guests. Dr. Squiggles, how are these microbes different from our usual alien gut residents?
Unlike our familiar friends like the Martian methane makers or the Jovian juice extractors, These new microbes can actually alter their genetic structure to produce beneficial compounds on demand. It's like having a tiny, adaptable pharmaceutical factory in your gut. They can potentially produce tailored medications or nutrients based on the host's immediate needs.
Incredible. It's like having a bespoke pharmacy in your belly. Professor Colon, are there any risks associated with these microbes?
As with any new discovery, Felix, we must proceed with caution. While we haven't observed any negative effects so far, we're closely monitoring for any potential long-term consequences. There's always the possibility that these microbes could evolve in unexpected ways or interact unpredictably with other gut flora.
Now let's hear a personal story. We have a holographic message from Zorp Blurglabum, a Neptunian living on Earth classic.
Since hosting these new microbes, I've noticed I can now digest Earth foods without my usual explosive reactions. It's been a game changer for my social life.
Well, that's certainly a relief for Zorp's dinner companions. Dr. Squiggles, could these microbes be the key to solving interspecies dietary incompatibilities?
It's certainly a possibility, Felix. These microbes' adaptive capabilities could potentially bridge the gap between vastly different digestive systems. Imagine a future where a Venusian sulfur breather could enjoy a nice Earth salad without consequences.
Fascinating. Professor Cologne, how might this impact the field of nutrition?
Oh, it could revolutionize everything, Felix. We might need to rethink our entire approach to diet and nutrition. Instead of tailoring our diets to our bodies, we could potentially tailor our gut microbiome to our desired diet. Want to live on nothing but cosmic dust and starlight? There might be a microbe for that.
Oh, another breaking news update. It seems a new fad diet based on ingesting these microbes is sweeping the Orion Arm. Health officials are warning against unauthorized microbe consumption. Dr. Squiggles, your thoughts?
For the love of all that's slimy, please don't eat random microbes, people. We're still studying these organisms. Just because something's alien doesn't mean it's a miracle cure.
Wise words, Doctor. As we wrap up this segment, what's the next step in your research?
We're looking into potential applications for space travel. These microbes could help astronauts better adapt to long-term missions and varying gravity conditions.
And we're investigating if these microbes could aid in terraforming efforts by helping introduced species adapt to alien environments more quickly.
Absolutely fascinating. Thank you both for sharing your insights. Remember, listeners, the only alien you should be inviting into your gut is thoroughly researched and approved by the Galactic Health Organization. Coming up next, we'll be discussing the intergalactic trade union strike that's left our wormhole network more tangled than a Rigelian spaghetti monster. But first, a word from our sponsors at Nebula Nosh. When you're craving a taste of the cosmos, reach for Nebula Nosh. Welcome back, Star Hoppers and Void Surfers. It's time for our second segment. And boy, do we have a tangled tale for you today. We're diving into the chaos caused by the intergalactic trade union strike that's left our wormhole network more knotted than a Centaurian pretzel maker's apron. To help us navigate this cosmic conundrum, we're joined by two distinguished guests, Zorpex99, the lead negotiator for the Intergalactic Trade Union, and Dr. Quasar Flux, chief economist at the Galactic Commerce Institute. Welcome, esteemed beings.
Greetings, Felix. I hope this transmission finds you well lubricated.
Thanks for having me, Felix. Let's hope we can shed some light on this dark matter.
Ha! Well, with you two here, I'm sure we'll wormhole our way to the truth. Now, Zorpex99, let's start with you. What sparked this interstellar industrial action?
Felix, it's quite simple. We, the hard-working beings who maintain the wormhole network, are demanding better working conditions. Do you know how hard it is to keep a tear in space-time from unraveling while dealing with cranky commuters?
I can only imagine. It must be like trying to knit a black hole with cosmic string theory. Dr. Flux, how is this strike affecting galactic commerce?
The impact is severe, Felix. With the Wormhole network operating at 15% capacity, we're seeing delays in everything from dilithium crystal shipments to Andromeda's Got Talent voting results. The galactic economy is projected to lose trillions of credits per day.
Oh, breaking news, folks. It seems a group of enterprising Ferengi have started a wormhole pooling service, offering to squeeze multiple ships through the few operational wormholes. Zorp X99, your thoughts on this development?
Typical Ferengi opportunism. I must stress that this is highly dangerous and could lead to ship-merging incidents. Remember the great starship fusion of 3301?
How could we forget? Half Constitution, half Bird of Prey ships are still popping up in antique auctions. Now let's hear from one of our listeners. We have a quantum-encrypted message from Bloop7 in the Crab Nebula. Bloop asks, why can't we just use hyperspace lanes instead?
An excellent question, Bloop. While hyperspace lanes are an alternative, they're significantly slower and more expensive. It's like choosing between a warp-speed elevator and a space snail staircase.
Time for a quick history lesson. Professor Cosmos, can you give us some context on past galactic labor disputes?
Certainly, Felix. This isn't the first time we've seen interstellar industrial action. In 2876, the Great Asteroid Belt Miners' Strike led to a shortage of space rocks for 3 years. Suddenly, pet rocks became the most valuable currency in 7 sectors.
Thanks, Professor. I've heard those pet asteroids are still floating around in some collectors' orbits. Now back to our guests. Dr. Flux, how long can the galactic economy sustain this disruption?
Not long, Felix. We're already seeing the effects ripple through various sectors. The Rigelian spaghetti monster you mentioned earlier, they're facing a severe meatball shortage due to supply chain disruptions.
A tragedy indeed. Zorp X and 99, what are the union's specific demands?
We're asking for better chronocompensation for time dilation effects, improved safety measures against quantum fluctuations, and at least 3 tentacles worth of personal space in our rest areas.
Sounds reasonable. Now let's hear a personal story. We have a holographic message from Captain Stardust of the freighter Cosmic Carp.
I've been stuck in the Horsehead Nebula for 3 cycles now. My cargo of Arcturian mega-chickens has started to evolve sentience. They're demanding better living conditions and the right to vote.
Well, Captain, sounds like you've got a real coup on your hands. Dr. Flux, how widespread are these kinds of situations?
Unfortunately, quite common, Felix. We're seeing similar reports across the galaxy. The longer this strike continues, the more complex these situations will become.
Zorp X99, is there any end in sight for this strike?
We're in ongoing negotiations with the Galactic Transport Authority. We're hopeful for a resolution, but prepared to continue our action as long as necessary.
Legislation to classify wormhole maintenance as an essential service. Dr. Flux, your thoughts?
This could be a game-changer, Felix. If passed, it could force an end to the strike, but it might also escalate tensions with the Union.
Fascinating developments. As we wrap up this segment, what should our listeners keep in mind about this situation?
Remember that behind every wormhole is a hard-working being just trying to make ends meet across multiple dimensions.
And consider diversifying your travel options. Sometimes the scenic route through normal space can be just as rewarding.
Wise words from both of you. Thank you for sharing your insights. Remember, listeners, in these trying times, always pack an extra pair of socks and a good book. You never know when you might be stuck between stars. Coming up next, we'll be tackling the Galactic Olympics, allegations of doping. But first, a word from our sponsors at Nebula Nosh. When you're stranded in a wormhole traffic jam, reach for Nebula Nosh. Welcome back, sports fans and quantum enthusiasts. It's time for our third segment, and we're diving into a scandal that sent shockwaves through space-time itself. The Galactic Olympics have been rocked by allegations of quantum entanglement doping. Are our athletic heroes bending more than just space? Joining us today are two experts. Dr. Cubit Schrödinger, head of the Galactic Olympic Committee's Anti-Doping Division, and Flex Lightspeed, former decathlon champion and current sports commentator. Welcome, distinguished guests.
Thank you, Felix. This is a matter of utmost gravity.
Great to be here, Felix. This scandal's got more twists than a quantum pretzel.
Let's jump right in. Dr. Schrödinger, can you explain what exactly quantum entanglement doping is?
Certainly, Felix. Athletes are using quantum entanglement to link their bodies with parallel versions of themselves in other universes. This allows them to essentially borrow peak performance from their alternate selves.
Fascinating. Flex, as a former athlete, what's your take on this?
It's a game changer, Felix. Imagine competing not just against the athletes in your universe, but the best versions of them across the multiverse. It's mind-bending.
But surely this can't be within the rules, Dr. Schrödinger?
Absolutely not. Our regulations clearly state that athletes must confine their performance to this universe only.
But come on, Doc. Isn't this just the next step in human enhancement? We already allow cybernetic limbs and genetic modifications.
This is fundamentally different, Flex. We're talking about violating the very fabric of space-time.
Let's take a step back. Dr. Schrödinger, how was this doping method discovered?
We noticed anomalies in the quantum signatures of certain athletes. Their wave functions were far too coherent for natural biological systems.
Wave functions? Are we testing athletes or subatomic particles here?
Flex, you seem skeptical of these methods. Do you think the committee is overreacting?
Look, Felix, sports have always been about pushing boundaries. First it was steroids, then gene doping, now it's quantum entanglement. Where do we draw the line?
We draw the line at maintaining the integrity of our universe, Flex. This isn't just about fair play. It's about preventing a potential collapse of reality as we know it.
Those are some high stakes. Now let's hear from one of our listeners. We have a tachyon-transmitted message from Zorp the Unfazed from the Timeless Void. Zorp asks, if an athlete quantum entangles with a version of themselves that never trained, does that count as doping or just really bad luck?
Oh man, Zorp's asking the real questions here. I guess that would be more quantum handicapping than doping.
While an interesting thought experiment, Zorp, I assure you our athletes are intelligent enough to entangle with their most enhanced selves.
Well, it certainly adds a new dimension to the phrase, being your own worst enemy. Now, Dr. Schrödinger, what measures are being taken to prevent quantum entanglement doping?
We're implementing quantum decoherence fields around all Olympic venues. These should sever any extra universal connections.
These are certainly stringent measures, but let's hear from those directly affected by this scandal. We have a holographic message from Zara Quasar, the Arcturian sprinter who just had her galactic record stripped.
I didn't know it was wrong. My coach said it was just like visualization techniques, but more advanced. Now my entire career is in jeopardy. How can I compete when others are still finding ways to bend the rules?
A poignant perspective. Flex, as a former athlete, what would you say to Zara?
Look, kid, I get it. The pressure to perform at this level is immense. But there's no shortcut to true greatness. You've got the talent. Use this as motivation to show the galaxy what you can do on your own.
While I sympathize with Zara's situation, ignorance of the law is no excuse. The rules were clear.
Strong words, Doctor. Now let's hear from someone on the other side of this issue. We have Coach Neutron Nova of the Betelgeusian Warp Jumpers on the quantum line.
This whole thing is a load of black hole waste. My athletes train in 5G environments, wear quantum-infused uniforms, and eat food grown in time-dilated fields. How is quantum entanglement any different? The committee is stuck in the dark ages.
Dr. Schrödinger, how do you respond to coaches like Neutron who argue that quantum entanglement is just the next step in training technology?
There's a clear line between enhancement and reality manipulation, Coach Nova. Your examples all work within our universe's laws. Quantum entanglement doping breaks them.
But Doc, aren't we breaking universal laws every time we use warp drive or teleportation?
That's different. Those are controlled, regulated technologies. This is reckless abuse of quantum mechanics.
You mentioned implementing quantum decoherence fields around all Olympic venues, but doesn't that affect the athletes who aren't doping too? Sounds like collective punishment to me.
An interesting point, Flex. Dr. Schrödinger, how do you respond to concerns about impacting clean athletes?
The fields are calibrated to only affect quantum coherence beyond normal biological levels. Clean athletes will be unaffected.
Uh-huh. And I suppose you've tested this thoroughly?
Of course, we've run extensive trials, though I admit there was that incident with the quantum-entangled cat.
Perhaps we'd better not get into that. As we wrap up this reality warping segment, what final thoughts do you have for our listeners?
Remember, folks, true athletic greatness comes from within. This universe, that is.
And let this be a warning to any athletes considering quantum doping. You may think you're only cheating the system, but you're really cheating the entire fabric of space-time.
Well, there you have it, listeners, the Galactic Olympics, where we're not just breaking records, but potentially breaking reality itself. Remember, in sports, as in quantum mechanics, it's not about the destination, but all the parallel states you visit along the way. Welcome back, cosmic contortionists and interdimensional stretchers. It's time for our fourth segment, and we're bending over backwards, quite literally, to bring you the latest craze sweeping the galaxy: alien yoga. Is this the key to inner peace, or just a way to tie yourself in knots? Joining us today are two experts in the field. Master Zorp 7, a gelatinous being from Epsilon Eridani and founder of the Galactic Yoga Federation, and Dr. Flexa Stretchworth, xenobiologist specializing in comparative physiology. Welcome, esteemed guests.
Greetings, Felix. May your molecules always vibrate in harmony.
Fascinating to be here, Felix. I'm all twisted up with excitement.
Well, let's hope we can straighten things out. Master Zorp 7, can you explain what exactly alien yoga is?
Alien yoga is the art of transcending your species' physical limitations through postures inspired by life forms across the cosmos. It's about achieving unity with the universe by literally bending yourself into new shapes of existence.
Sounds flexible. Dr. Stretchworth, from a scientific perspective, is this even possible for most species?
It's pushing the boundaries of xenobiology, Felix. We're seeing humans attempt poses that should, by all accounts, turn them into pretzels. The cellular restructuring alone is fascinating.
Fascinating indeed. Master Zorp 7, what inspired you to start this intergalactic movement?
I had a vision while meditating in a black hole. I saw beings of all shapes and sizes twisting and turning, becoming one with the cosmic flow. It was beautiful, Felix.
A black hole? That's one extreme meditation retreat. Dr. Stretchworth, are there any risks involved?
Oh, absolutely. We've seen cases of spontaneous limb duplication, temporary phase shifting, and in one unfortunate incident, a practitioner accidentally turned himself inside out.
Ouch! That's taking finding your inner self a bit too literally. Master Zorp 7, how do you address these safety concerns?
All great spiritual practices involve some risk, Felix. We advise starting slow, perhaps with simple tentacle twists or eye stalk inversions.
Oh, We've just received a real-time update. It seems the Galactic Health Organization has issued a warning about a new condition called Yoga Fusion Syndrome. Dr. Stretchworth, can you elaborate?
Yes, we're seeing cases where practitioners from different species who practice together are experiencing a kind of physiological blending. Last week, a human and a Venusian gas bag ended up sharing a lung.
Ha ha ha! Talk about heavy breathing. Master Zorp 7, your response?
This is not a syndrome, but a breakthrough. Imagine the unity we could achieve if we could truly share our bodies across species.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now let's hear from one of our listeners. We have a psychic impression from Gloob, the amorphous from the shapeless realm. Gloob asks, as a being with no fixed form, am I always doing yoga or never doing yoga?
Well, Gloob, I suppose you're in a constant state of yoga superposition.
Gloob, my formless friend, you are both the ultimate yoga master and the ultimate beginner. Embrace this paradox.
Well, Gloob, sounds like you're tying us all in philosophical knots. Now let's get a historical perspective. Professor Cosmos, can you give us some context on interspecies physical practices?
Certainly, Felix. Interspecies physical arts date back to the great galactic gymnastics of the Zorblax era. It ended rather abruptly when a Rigelian rubber being accidentally catapulted himself into a sun during the final vault event. Quite the spectacular finish, I must say.
Thank you, Professor. Let's hope alien yoga has a less explosive impact. Master Zorp 7, what's the most challenging pose in your practice?
The neutron star crunch is quite difficult. It involves compressing your entire being into a space the size of a pin's head while maintaining consciousness.
Which is, I must stress, absolutely fatal for most carbon-based life forms.
Sounds intense. Can you tell us about some of the more popular alien yoga poses that are suitable for beginners?
Of course. Felix, let's start with the quantum fold. This pose involves bending your appendages through higher dimensions, allowing you to touch your own back without reaching around your body. It's excellent for spatial awareness and can help alleviate interdimensional jet lag.
Fascinating. We've observed that this pose can temporarily increase neural plasticity in humanoid species. Some practitioners report enhanced problem-solving abilities for hours afterward.
Intriguing. What other poses are trending in the yoga community?
The graviton flow is quite popular. Practitioners simulate the effects of intense gravitational fields on their bodies, compressing and stretching in rhythmic patterns. It's wonderful for circulation and has the added benefit of preparing you for visits to high-gravity worlds.
Indeed. We've documented cases of humans increasing their bone density by 20% after just a month of daily graviton flow practice. It's revolutionizing our approach to long-term space travel.
Sounds like a weighty exercise. Any poses for those of us who prefer to stay a bit more grounded?
For beginners, I recommend the photon breath. This involves synchronizing your respiration with the pulsation of a nearby star. It promotes relaxation and has been known to induce mild psychic abilities in some species.
The photon breath is particularly interesting from a biological standpoint. We've observed increased mitochondrial efficiency in practitioners, leading to higher energy levels and improved cellular repair.
Breathing in tune with a star? That's one way to become a stellar individual. Any poses that are particularly good for stress relief? Our listeners in the Crab Nebula have been complaining about cosmic ray tension.
For that, I would recommend the nebula drift. This pose involves suspending your consciousness across a wide area, similar to the dispersed nature of a nebula. It's deeply relaxing and helps put your problems into a truly cosmic perspective.
While the consciousness-expanding effects are difficult to quantify, we have recorded decreased cortisol levels and improved sleep patterns in regular nebula drift practitioners. It's particularly effective for hive mind species struggling with internal conflicts.
Fascinating. It seems alien yoga truly offers something for every body type in the galaxy. Now, we have a personal story from a practitioner. Let's hear a holomessage from Xandi, a silicon-based life form from Alpha Centauri.
Before alien yoga, I was just another rigid rock. Now I can flow like magma. I've even developed the ability to photosynthesize. I'm not sure if that's related, but I'm going with it.
Well, that's certainly a glowing recommendation. Dr. Stretchworth, any scientific explanation for Xandi's new abilities?
It's possible the extreme poses are triggering dormant genes or activating quantum potentialities within Xandi's silicon matrix. Or it could just be really good stretching.
As we wrap up this mind-bending segment, what final thoughts do you have for our listeners?
Remember, in alien yoga, there are no limitations, only opportunities to transcend your current form.
And please consult your physician, shaman, or local interdimensional being before attempting any exotic poses.
Well, there you have it, listeners. Alien yoga, where the journey to inner peace might just lead you out of your own body. Remember, in the cosmic dance of life, sometimes you're the yoga master, and sometimes you're the accidentally inside-out practitioner. Stay tuned for our final segment, where Zephyr Stardust will bring us the weather report from across the cosmos. Will it be raining antimatter in the Andromeda Galaxy? Tune in to find out. And now, as we approach the event horizon of our show, it's time for our much-anticipated weather update. Let's check in with our resident astrometeorologist, the star of precipitation prognostication, Comet Channing.
Thanks, Felix. It's been a wild ride across the cosmos this fortnight, with more twists and turns than a quantum pretzel.
Haha. Speaking of twists, I hear the Crab Nebula's been experiencing some unusual phenomena.
You bet your gravity boots, Felix. The Crab Nebula's been whipping up what I like to call pulsar parfaits, layers of electromagnetic radiation so thick you could eat them with a spoon. Pack your SPF 10 million if you're heading that way.
Sounds delicious and dangerous. Any other cosmic culinary concoctions we should know about?
Well, over in the Andromeda Galaxy, we're seeing a delightful sprinkle of antimatter, or as I like to call it, existence exfoliation. Great for removing those pesky reality wrinkles.
Oh, we've just received a transmission from our field reporter, Zephyr Stardust. Zephyr, can you hear us?
Felix! Comet! I'm currently in the upper atmosphere of Kepler 16b, and things are getting a bit hairy up here.
Harry? Zephyr, are you in danger?
No. I mean literally hairy. The planet's experiencing a follicle front. Strands of charged plasma are braiding themselves into cosmic cornrows.
Ooh, sounds like a classic case of bad hair nebula, Zephyr. Try not to get tangled.
Zephyr, maybe you should...
Wait, something's happening. The plasma strands are... Oh no, I think I've just been permed by the universe.
Well, listeners, it seems Zephyr's experiencing a real bad hair day. Let's hope he doesn't run into any giant cosmic combs out there.
Speaking of combs, Felix, let's comb through some listener questions. We've got one from Zorblax the Unpronounceable from the Booty's Void.
Zorblax asks, is it true that black holes have a rainy season?
Oh, Zorblax, you kidder. Black holes don't have seasons. They have spaghettification sensations. Though I suppose if you're being stretched into cosmic pasta, it might feel a bit like getting caught in the rain.
Remind me to pack an umbrella next time I visit a black hole. Now, Comet, it's time for our space weather word of the fortnight.
This fortnight's word is quasar-quiche. It's when a supermassive black hole at a galaxy's centre starts cooking up a meal of superheated gas and dust. Delicious, but a bit heavy on the X-rays.
Sounds like the ultimate cosmic brunch. Now let's hear our listener's space weather story. This one's from Bloop, the amorphous from the shapeless realm.
Dear Intergalactic Insider, last week I visited the gas giant Blorgan 7 and I got caught in a diamond rainstorm. Now I can't stop sparkling. Is this covered by traveler's insurance?
Oh, Bloop. I'm afraid that falls under Act of Cosmic Fabulous. Definitely not covered. Oh, Zephyr's back online. Zephyr, how are you holding up?
Felix, I've managed to escape the hairy situation, but now I'm stuck in some kind of temporal eddy. I keep experiencing the same 5 minutes over and over.
Sounds like a classic case of Groundhog Nebula, Zephyr. Try reversing the polarity of your temporal stabilizers.
My what? Wait, something's happening again. The plasma strands are... Oh no, not again.
Well, folks, it seems Zephyr's stuck in a hairy time loop. We'll try to comb him out before next episode.
And that's our forecast, Felix. Remember, whether you're facing antimatter showers or quasar quiches, always pack your multiverse umbrella.
Words to live by, Comet. And that brings us to the end of this fortnight's episode of Intergalactic Insider. Remember, listeners, in the vast cosmic salon of existence, we're all just trying to avoid a bad hair day.